Welcome to the Help Her Be Brave podcast show, where we have great ideas on how you can help save lives. I'm Amy Ford.
And I'm Jessica Russo.
Okay, today we have super sweet Ashley Potts that's going to be on the show today. And we both recently got to be at her gala. Mm-hmm. What did you think when you heard the stories of their maternity home, Selah Creek?
Oh my goodness. Okay, first of all, before any of the moms even knew who I was, like, their moms were telling me stories. Like, they genuinely love this experience in this home and the house moms and everybody involved. And I was just like, these people are for real. Mm-hmm. These people are for real. And I didn't have a dry eye the entire time they were presenting stories. And Ashley is the real deal.
Yeah, she's very passionate, and she is the heart of this organization. And you just feel the love. And so I can't wait for you guys to meet her. We'll bring her on. Hey, Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I was telling everyone earlier about how I spoke at your banquet not too long ago and was so inspired by the stories of the moms, and just your passion was so awesome. We were like, we have to have her on the show. So good. And I love that you're in my town and I can send my mamas to you, and you're going to take such good care of them. Mm-hmm. So beautiful. Well, I thought you could start with your why. Like, why are you passionate about helping these moms?
Yeah, so that story goes back about probably 20 years. So when I was 19, I found out that I was pregnant, unplanned, didn't have a boyfriend at the time. I always say unplanned, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, unplanned by who? Because really God knew, right?
Right.
So I found out that I was pregnant, was kind of going nowhere with my life, to be honest. I was floundering, looking for love in all the wrong places. And when I found out I was pregnant, it really was just like it was a really scary moment for me, realizing I can't keep up this pattern of my life and bring a human into this world. And so it was a moment full of humility and belief, what am I going to do? Thankfully, I was raised by a very strong woman and have 3 older, strong sisters. And so they really rallied around me. I did have the opportunity of abortion presented to me by an old Sunday school teacher in my church that I grew up in. She kind of just came up to me and said, hey, just so you know, we heard that you were pregnant, but we just want you to know you don't have to do this. There are other options. And that's when she kind of presented termination to me. And thankfully, I didn't think too long about it, because I had people who were around me who I knew would help me, who would lead me, guide me, just kind of be a support for me. So I chose to parent. And I parented as a single parent for 2 years. And then through a crazy God story, the Lord reconciled my relationship between me and my son's father. And so we got married and had more kids. And I've always had just a really sweet spot in my heart, and my husband as well, sweet spot in my heart for women who don't have a support. I look back, my oldest son is 19 now, and I look back on that season of life, and I really feel like I don't know how I would have survived without somebody coming alongside me and showing me how to soothe a crying baby, how to get up in the middle of the night and keep going. And so really, we formed Selah Creek. My husband and I formed Selah Creek out of this idea of who supports the mamas who have no support. Mm-hmm. Not everybody was as fortunate as I was to have people around them. And so the question was, how can we stand in the gap? We decided that we were pro-life, but pro-life is so much more than a vote on a piece of paper or an idea. It is actually standing in the gap. And so we formed Selah Creek for the mamas in our area and beyond who do not have a support system. Those mamas would include women coming out of prison, women coming off the streets, out of an abusive relationship. Most of our women don't really even have someone to write down as an emergency contact on their medical paperwork. And so we exist. We're a residential home for homeless pregnant women. Homeless can mean a lot of things, though. It can mean, hey, I recognize that in my cycle that I'm in right now, I'm not going to be successful, so I need to make a change. It could be anything from, like I said, prison, leaving a rehab facility, off the streets. And so we basically we have a home where we have full-time live-in house parents who really rally around single mamas who are parenting and choosing life for their babies. And so we function as basically a family. We have family dinners. We have a program that they work. And if their desire is to be successful and independent, we just basically provide the platform for that.
Love. And you are in Dallas area. And so someone that might be listening in another part of the nation, and maybe there's a maternity home around them, what are kind of some common ways where people can serve and volunteer for a maternity home?
There's honestly a lot of ways, and every home does things differently. Sometimes, for us, the way that we do volunteers is like we have a volunteer that comes in for 3 hours once a week and just shows up and helps our house mom however she can. We personally love to have men get involved, and so if we need something big moved or some yard work, we'll have like yard days, and that's a family-friendly thing. We have small groups who come out and just bring dinner and hang out. And so one of the things that we're really passionate about is our mamas seeing a healthy view of a godly family and a godly man loving his wife. And so anytime we can also bring men with their wives into the home so that our mamas can see a new standard for them to reach towards, that is huge for us. So I would say if you're looking for a maternity home to volunteer in your area, first step, I would Google maternity housing and put your city in. And then I would just reach out to them personally, tell them that you want to volunteer, tell them what your strengths are, tell them what you feel like how you could benefit and help the mamas or the ministry in general. Sometimes it's writing thank you notes or, just showing up with diapers and wipes for a mama who's been struggling. So there's tons of ways that you can support through maternity housing.
Yes, so true. And you guys, or your moms that are at the home, they do Embrace Grace. How does that work?
Okay, this is so exciting to me. Okay, so our program director, her name's Christiane Milner. She's also our Rockwall County, where our home is in Rockwall County, which is about 30 minutes east of Dallas. Christiane is our program person, but she also is responsible for Rockwall County Embrace Grace. And so we have really found this cool niche where we've partnered with our county's Embrace Grace, and we do so much stuff together. All of our women go through Embrace Grace. And that is such a beautiful blend because not only does that help us with baby showers and helping our moms get around other women like them, which makes them feel normal and included, which is so crucial to their journey. We also try to put together a couple of just get-togethers, Selah Creek moms, Embrace Grace moms, anybody really in the community who is a young single parent struggling through life. We want to get them together so that they can spend as much time together and really build each other up. And so we do that basically through both Embrace Grace and Selah Creek at the same time.
So awesome. I love it's such a great partnership. Really. And I'm thankful too, they're getting in the habit of going to church and walking in the doors. I know it's kind of been weird with COVID this past year, but in a normal year, knowing what it feels like to walk in the doors and to know like this is a safe place and that I can raise my kids here and being a part of a church family is so important for them.
Yeah, and a place where they already feel comfortable before they even come to church on Sunday, and so they can walk in there and they know where their kids' classroom would already be. They know where the restrooms already are. Yeah. They know they're going to walk in and not feel judged, even if only because there's like-minded people around them. So it's really cool, man. We have had so much fun blending the two and kind of putting them together because we really believe, if it's just maternity housing and it's just the mamas in the home talking to the same 3 or 4 people, it can get tiring. And so really what we want for our mamas is to have a community of people that they can rely on even when they move out of our home. And so Embrace Grace has really helped us with that because I was in church the other day and I heard a noise and I turned around to the seat behind me, and it was an Embrace Grace mama that I had met through Embrace Grace and Selah Creek, and she was sitting in the back with her baby, and I didn't even know she was there. So that was really, really cool to see that. And she felt comfortable enough to just show up at church on Sunday. So that was really special.
And what a great way for them to build safe community in a season of transition where it could be scary, especially if they don't know anybody in that area or they're coming in from another county or even another state, to build that safe community that can help them make wise choices, that can build them up and love on them well in that season. We're on a mission to equip churches across the globe to provide single and pregnant women with emotional, spiritual, and physical support. You and your church can be the answer to their prayers. You can help her be brave in her choice for life. To learn more about how your church can host an Embrace Grace support group, visit www.embracegrace.com.
Yeah, and the other thing I love about that is Embrace Grace is so intentional about her value. I've flipped through y'all's study several times, and I think identity is crucial in reaching and speaking to women who are facing an unplanned pregnancy or women who are single parenting. And so one of the coolest things about that is we have been able to take some of the basic curriculum that you guys put out about women's identity and reinforce it. And then also that gives them the courage to go, hey, you know, maybe I did have an unplanned pregnancy. Maybe I did make some choices that the people of the church may not be proud of, but I can hold my head high because I'm a daughter of the King. And I know that because of Embrace Grace. They've gone through the Embrace Grace curriculum. They can boldly step foot in a church and worship their Savior because they know who they are. I mean, that is so huge. It's
For
so
sure.
Huge.
Yeah, that's what, and I'm sure you see it too. Like identity is just a common struggle for all our moms, and so when they know whose they are and who they are, it changes everything. Yeah. And I love hearing the testimonies of the moms and of that were at your gala, because it's a very transformative experience living in your home. It's not just, like you said, a place to stay and sleep. No, it is, you will experience a transformation because of the Holy Spirit and because of the love that they feel. And tell everyone, so your maternity home is called Selah Creek, and I loved your explanation of why it's called that.
Yeah, so we named Selah Creek what we did because we fully believe that we can come in and we can walk with women and we can teach them the gospel. Yes, that is what we do first and foremost. And we can provide them with tools to become independent. But if we do not provide them with a pause or a minute to break, to reflect on their past, where they are now and where they want to go, that we will be missing a huge gap with them. And so Selah from the book of Psalms basically means to pause or break for worship or reflection. And so that is one of the things that drives our mamas the most crazy, because being able to stop and think and process is foreign to them. But once they get into the hang of it, it's so good, because really what we want, this is our biggest goal with them. It's probably very similar to what your biggest goal is. Our biggest goal with them is to provide them an opportunity to stop, look at the experiences they've had in their past, start to process and heal some of those, look at where they are with their pregnancy, parenting, or placing for adoption, and then make plans for their future so that they don't have to raise wounded kids that were raised like they were raised, thus changing lives for generations to come. And so it's really an opportunity for them to stop and go, you know what happened to me when I was 9, 10, 12, it's not okay. And I'm going to do things different so that my kids don't have to experience that. So we're also instilling the gospel in them as much as we can. Obviously, it's their choice whether they want to choose Jesus or not, but we pray that they will. And when they do, then they get to teach their kids the gospel, and their kids teach their kids and their kids. And then it just becomes a generation of faithfulness to the Lord because of who he is and because of that mama's decision to follow him.
Love. Okay, so tell us a story about a mom that stayed with you guys.
Oh gosh.
I'm sure you have tons
of them. Authorized story? No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I could tell you Well, we have our very first Selah Creek mom who went through our program. She actually spoke at our banquet. Her name's Lacey, and she just got married on Saturday. It was
Aw.
the most precious wedding. Yes, she is. We love her so much. But we actually have a mom right now. I'm not going to tell you her name just because we do try to protect their identity until they graduate. But we have one mom right now she's been in the home for about 9 months now. And she has really struggled with some real life issues as a child, just instability and loneliness, in and out of the foster system as a child. And she came to us pregnant, knowing that she wanted a parent, but she didn't have her GED. She really was struggling with relationships and just all of it. And since she has come into the home in the last 9 months, now she has struggled. So, but we define struggling well as you get up every morning and you keep trying again, right? So sometimes it's one step forward, two steps back, and that is okay. But she went through all of our programming and Embrace Grace, and I can tell you that today she's 3 months from graduating our program. She's about to receive her GED certification. She's already completed and passed all of her courses. The Lord saved her life. She just recently got baptized. Her baby is thriving, and she is just killing it as a mom. She's working full time. She's just we're just so proud of her. Every day it's a new thing that she has just accomplished. And so we want that for all of our mamas. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes it does. And we make it a goal from that point. I'm so excited for her to move on to her next step, but I'm also don't want her to leave because we just love her so much. But our goal is always to keep in contact with those moms afterwards. So even our mamas who have left, we randomly, especially our house mom, she'll randomly get videos on social media, and we try to keep in contact with all of our mamas. So, and our house mom actually baptized her. That was so precious.
Oh my goodness. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, how can people connect to you guys? What are your websites, your social media, and all of the things?
Okay. Great question. So our website is selahcreek.org. So it's Selah, SELAH, creek.org. And then Facebook is Selah Creek. Instagram is Selah Creek. You can go like and follow, send us messages. We love to respond to those. Ask any questions you want. We are an open book about what we do, how we do it. We're constantly learning. So if you are from another maternity home and have a great idea, reach out to me. I want to hear it. So we try to be lifelong learners.
Love it. Aren't we all supposed to be?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, girl.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with our listeners today. We hope that everybody goes and checks them out, donate, give. Even if you don't live in the DFW area, they're a great cause to connect with, and they'll receive moms from anywhere. If they have an opening. So it feels like family and it feels like home, and they're just an amazing organization. So thank you so much, Ashley, for being on with us today.
Thank you so much. Y'all are awesome.
I love how, as Ashley talks about her mamas, I can feel her mom heart, even through audio. Like, she is so real. She is so authentic and genuine. And really, it is like in any ministry, the heart of why people serve communicates through to those that we serve. And those moms, those volunteers, they know that this is a place that's safe, a place of refuge and healing and hope. And I love just the heart behind Selah Creek, and that they want to give their moms, to teach their moms what it is, to how valuable it is to take that moment in time to reflect, to heal, so that we don't repeat the things of the past. And it's so valuable for them to give these moms that opportunity.
Yeah, for real. And so wherever you might be listening, you may not be in the Dallas area, but there could be a maternity home in your area. I would definitely check it out to just know and have that resource of just knowing that, there's a maternity home here in case I ever meet someone that's pregnant and homeless, because not having a place to live is a reason why sometimes moms choose abortion. I mean, you need a home to have your baby in and to have that support, or maybe you just don't have you have a place to live, but it's unhealthy, or you're couch hopping, you know, from place to place, like to be able to have a steady place where you have a crib and you have your things all in a safe place where you can, like Jessica said, heal and grow.
Learn how to
So
be a
important.
mom.
Yes. And maybe you're out there and you're like, I don't even know if there is one in this city, but I feel like I'm supposed to start one. I would just start somewhere and just, you know, if you're like, well, I need the funding. Well, do you have an extra couch? You know,
Yeah.
can you invite a mom to come stay with you? Do you have an extra seat at your table where she can come and eat with your family and be a part of a family? Just starting somewhere and then seeing what doors open. But we need more maternity homes for sure. Or even just single mom housing.
Yes.
Sometimes that feels like, at least in the Dallas area, a really great need is, you know, maybe after they have their baby, it got really hard, and having a place to come stay.
To catch their breath.
To catch their breath, maybe for a year or so. It's some sort of transitional housing. We have a few, but I know that they stay on a waiting list, you know, of need. They have a lot of girls that have needs. So follow that passion, follow that little stirring in your heart to do something in this area, whether it's to start your own or whether it's to serve an existing maternity home in your area, because they are very vital to our communities and we need them. So, and definitely check out Selah Creek. They are amazing. Yeah. So I hope that you got some good ideas on how to get involved in the pro-life movement today. If you want more ideas, go to helperbebrave.com and you can buy my book. It has over 300 ideas. It's called Help Her Be Brave, Discover Your Place in the Pro-Life Movement. Or you can also take a quiz at helperbebrave.com. And you can, if you're not really sure what I'm good at, I don't know what talents or strengths that I have, take the quiz and it'll give you some ideas of where to get started, and then just watch what God does. And we would love to hear what you're doing in the pro-life movement to help moms. So check us out at helperbebrave.com. And also, one other thing, you can start an Embrace Grace group, and maybe you can even partner with your local maternity home and start a group for those moms at your church. So lots of ideas here. And we're so thankful to serve in the pro-life movement with you. You guys are amazing. Together we can make abortion unthinkable. We'll see you next time.